There you go. You are live on
Hey,
all
everybody.
these socials.
Abby is disappointed in you, all of you. Yes. She's disappointed in me for drinking beer.
Santa talks funny.
Santa does talk funny.
Talk crazy. That's it.
Yeah,
That's Santa talked crazy.
Very good. Oh, Graham, can you gonna try to get it up one more time like you did earlier?
Oh yeah, I probably could.
Oh, Graham, can you?
Nope.
Here we go.
It's dead.
Oh.
It's better.
Fantastic. Good. I now have my reference point for the start of the show.
Like Triple H back in the day.
No.
If I had some water, can do it.
You already did that on the ceiling.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago before I grew it out.
And it's
Might have been
still
3 years
waiting to
ago.
be cleaned up.
Still, that was, I thought, season 1.
It was when I dropped my. It was, I think, it was a porter, and I dropped it. It hit the bottom, and the beer shot out.
And then we had the
There we go. I just tagged both of you and shared it.
excellent. We had the Liverpool birdie everywhere.
Yeah,
around
all
you.
the time. Yep.
Used to check in on our indoor team. God, we had all kinds of fucking weird ass bits.
Yeah.
We used to have the banner up, and y'all used to take pictures in front of it. It was great. Y'all got lazy.
I mean, a month ago, I used to get pictures for the show.
I sent you last week. I send them every week when I remember.
I'd open Instagram, and I was like, the last post was Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's on you, dude. Why aren't you posting shit?
I don't have any photos.
I send them to you every week.
Last week was the first time I got them in a month.
I haven't been tweeting as much during the World Cup. I really haven't been.
It's this time of year. This time of year sucks.
Look at that. Thursday. Thursday.
Oh, look at that.
How about
Oh,
that?
wow.
That was November. Weird. How you're right now.
Weird.
I must have deleted the photos.
Oh, is that it?
That's so weird. I can't
Wow.
possibly be wrong.
What a Trumpian cover-up.
That's so weird. I demand a recount.
I demand the DOJ to do something about this. Or maybe you think they should be abolished.
No, DOJ and FBI should be stopped.
Something should be they should be handled.
Should be handled.
The fuck does that mean?
Proud Boys, stand by. Are you too proud?
Bet you the
Ain't too proud.
You know what? You know what that translates to?
What?
Cunts, go for a jog.
those proud boys because apparently they give up the old so
You know
they are definitely need to be
Hey.
handled.
Those boys know their Lucky Charms.
Yes, they know.
Do you remember
cereals,
you
damn
remember
it.
the meme after January 6th? It was like, you know how you like defeat a Proud Boy in a fight?
How?
Just run away or walk away at a brisk pace. You'll end up having a heart attack.
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh, I love it.
That was the line I used on you. We were
Yeah.
talking about if the cosplay patriots decide to start a war, it'd be like, yeah, we'll be all right. All we gotta do is walk briskly.
Thing could be said.
It's fucking brilliant. If I joined the ranks and looked like the fittest person that was there, you've got a problem in your ranks.
It is a bad problem. So are we ready to start a show, Mrs.
Yeah,
Houston?
we got somebody. Oh, they just went away.
Oh, damn. Maybe it was the
Let's do it
conservative chat.
anyways.
Let's go ahead and get the show started.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they ain't gonna like what we have to say about the World Cup in the second segment. That's for damn
What?
sure.
World Cup was awesome. Mm-hmm. Best World Cup ever.
It was, footballing wise.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Shh.
This is Whiskey Dix, and you're listening to the DU Football Show. Football!
Fuck yeah!
That's how I felt during the final. Every time my mom was like, wow, this is intense, I was like, football! Because it was awesome.
Yeah, it definitely made you want to run out in the streets and be like, yeah!
I had my own Emmy dance going in the living room.
Yeah, yes, you did, and the couch still hasn't been the same. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the 2022 World Cup, as told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Huston, and across the way from me, the Yando of this operation, my good friend, Mr. Samuel Graham. How are you, Mr. Graham?
I'm fine.
You don't even know who Yando is.
How are you? I already had a thing in my head. Fuck your joke.
That was a great reference.
It was.
I don't even know. I don't know who Yando is. I went
it would be a
straight
better
to
reference if you weren't muted when you said that, hon.
I went straight to Tom from Blink-182.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly.
That's what I was doing.
I was making a Guardians of the Galaxy reference.
So anyway,
has the big, huge mohawky thing and whistles a lot. And
the whistle. Yeah,
that's what you do.
Okay, now I know exactly what you're talking about because I just watched that movie with Tegan 3 months ago.
Very good.
So anyway, how are you?
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
It is dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. And, of course, and the most efficient way to do so is at dufootballshow on all of your social medias. There are also many of other ways, which we will come on to at some point during the show as well.
The Better Than Brody account on Twitter
is killing it.
Is coming back strong.
Yes.
Made a few seal references to you from things we discussed last week.
So I've checked with at least 4 people since last week's episode aired, and they said my logic was sound. However, it is fucking weird.
I'm going to need a Photoshop of a seal and the Golden Globe trophy. Sorry, an otter and the Golden Globe.
Golden Glove.
Wow, you combined globe and glove twice there in different ways. How did you manage that, Mel?
I'm talented.
She said something really well with the mute button off and then really poorly with the mute button on.
She said glove.
Talking like this.
I heard.
She said glove and then glub.
She fucked it up. She fucked it up twice.
You know what? You're the only person here that needs to write their jokes because you're the best cold reader in the business.
Ko-Fefe.
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry. Both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, it's a cold as shit day, so I decided to go with the whiskey from Isla without the E. What are we drinking?
We are drinking the Port Charlotte, cunt cup. Port Charlotte heavily peated Islay single malt, which was, I don't remember what number, but it was on last year's list.
2 years ago,
2 years ago.
It was in the top 10, I believe.
This is the Paco 1 2011, 8 years old in oak casks, conceived, distilled, matured, and bottled at a Bruichladdich distillery of Isla. There is no blurb.
No. Big peat.
It is big, massive peat, iodine Band-Aid, but not in an astringent way.
Right.
You also get that little bit of lemon zest, and then the smoke hits you big time, and you lose all sense of flavor and enjoyment, and you just decide to get drunk.
When it's a cold day, this is exactly the whiskey you need.
Exactly what you want. A little bit of water, always nice to cut this down.
Big ice cube, let it melt for a little while. We, in fact, I poured it over ice before we even started sound check because I want it to get a little watered down. It gets a little more floral when you let a little bit of water impact it as well.
Absolutely. I also, for those of you watching on the feed, Mel, we have anybody in the feed here so far?
Yes.
Awesome. I
got it right this time.
I didn't mention it last week. I was gifted something.
Yes.
And it'll be perfect for the second half of the show. But I want to start off by thanking my boy Garrett that I work with. And now you can all see it. It is an Unt mug. If you carefully look at it, when the C is in the right position, when the handle is in the right position, you see what it spells.
Yep.
This is my new whiskey glass for the show. Garrett, cheers, bud.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
We always love getting free shit on the show, so feel the need, send anything in, just DM us. We'll give you a P.O. box to send it to because we don't want you to know where we live.
Well, now we got
in case you sound like fingernail clippings or something.
Very well, not out of the possibility.
Don't want to give out our assassination coordinates.
The other fun bit of all that too is our our Patreon, we now have a bidding war for our affection between
do.
Cole, International Man of Mystery John, and of course the P1's P1 Taylor.
It's never felt better to be a $2 whore than right now. I'll tell you that. Because the top bid at the moment is like $18.64.
And you know what? We got some whiskey to pay for because the new 2020 list came out. We've just about finished it, except for the 3 we're still waiting on. The real balls fuck expensive ones. Oh, man. So, Mr. Graham, what else should we always do?
Remember to drink responsibly, please. Now that the World Cup's over, no more day drinking until Saturdays again. That's a good thing.
Well, hey, at least you're allowed to go back to drinking in stadiums like civilized human beings. Let's do this, brother.
Yes.
It does have a good
ting. Clink. Yeah, I like it.
Like that quite a bit.
Garrett, well, good find. I also like the back of it, too, if you can see that. It was just a digitized emoji smiley face.
Yep.
It looks better on a phone than it does the cup, which is good. I like that.
The World Cup final had everything, with the biggest stars in the game performing at their best, and a legend finally gets the one trophy he has chased his entire career. Argentina 3, France 3. Argentina wins on penalties 4-2. There's always going to be recency bias in everything, and we always say this is the GOAT, this is the great, and all that shit. We didn't just see the best World Cup match ever, because it's not even debatable. That is the best World Cup final ever.
It's the best World Cup match ever, let alone final.
Yeah. Sorry, 1966. No, this is now it. Did we possibly witness one of the greatest sporting events ever?
Well, the World Cup is the best sporting event in the world. Period. Start there. So even the worst World Cup is the best sporting event in the world.
All right, but think of Ali Frazier, Secretariat winning the Triple Crown, going away at the Belmont. The miracle on ice, right? Johnson Lewis in the Olympics, right? Like there's a lot of fucking things, right? This is right up there.
There's a lot of great moments, but in terms of a full sporting event, I will never say that a horse racing can be a part of that, because the entire piece of the Triple Crown that's visible to the majority of human beings is about 7 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 3. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 2-minute runs.
Yeah, it's like, okay, great. The Miracle on Ice tournament lasts about 3 weeks. Yeah. Fine.
And the Miracle on Ice wasn't the final. The Miracle on Ice was the semifinal.
Exactly. Yeah. So great. That is kind of somewhat comparable. Initial figures that I saw were 4 billion people watched the final.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well over half of the world's population.
Yeah.
So when I love all the little American football heads. Ooh, the Super Bowl. Look at the Super Bowl. 300 million, 400 million people watch that.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You had 1% of what the world's population did, or 10% of what the world's population did.
Right.
Congratulations. Well fucking done. 90% more people watched the World Cup final.
I'd like to see
as a single game. Take into account the entire month.
I would like to see what the final number. Mel, if you're able to pull it up, if you can do a little research on it, I'd appreciate it. If you can't find it, not the end of the world. But I'd like to see what the final number was, because the USA-England match, which now, granted, prime viewing time, right? Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, between live television, streaming, and Telemundo, ultimately brought a 20 share, which is 20 million viewers. That's a big fuck number. And that's the biggest number
for a soccer game in the United States.
Right, for a soccer game. So I'd be very interested to see what the number was, because let's face it, it was walking right up to the NFL. It was right before NFL kickoff. So there had to be eyes, and I imagine
which I think probably helped it.
The second half on probably really got eyes, and we'll get into the match breakdown itself, but
but we're talking
this
about
match had fucking every.
We're talking about these numbers.
Everything.
You have to get rid of your American bias,
right?
Because the World Championship of American Football, the Super Bowl, the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck about.
Right. Of
The
course.
World Championship of Baseball, the World Series, nobody gives a fuck about but us in Japan.
Right.
And Cuba and Mexico. The World Championship of Basketball, the NBA Finals, nobody gives a fuck about but us, Croatia, and northern Spain and southern France.
Right. Right.
No one gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's my point. It's not a world thing. This is literally the world stage. There at the end of it was a stage, and more than half of the world was watching at
Right.
that moment.
Right. Oh, it's
And Amy Martinez decided to put his dick in a glove.
but to
More on that later from our Argentina correspondent, Mel.
But coming from, you can't help but we're a United States-based show. A lot of our listenership is United States-based, and
I'm not talking to them because they get it.
But
I'm
we're
talking
always-
to the dickheads.
I'm with you, but we're talking about the comparison will always be what it was in the United States, and I would say it was very impressive. And if you wanted, we talked about last week, if you wanted there to be a game that people could watch, it was a Saturday. It was England versus France in the semifinal, and it was a magnificent match. It had no sports competing against it. It had all the opportunity to have eyes on the TV. And this game blew that game the fuck away. And that game was incredible.
Yep.
I mean, just mind-numbing. Let's kind of get into the action a little bit. The first half, yes.
Can I yell at Fox?
Please,
first?
yell at Fox real quick.
Fox decided to cut away to NFL Sunday and change channels for the lifting of the trophy.
Yeah.
Aggrieved,
Yeah.
for one. Really pissed off at that, personally.
You know what?
I'm sick and tired of having to change channels every goddamn time something happens, whether it be to Peacock or back to NBC or am I on NBC Sports or where's my game being shown, and then to have Fox do this after they fucked up the lifting of the trophy last year. Also, as everything was being built and getting ready and they were doing just random shots, they stayed on somebody with a boom mic in their face, like that. This here, the boom part of it. They had the boom mic in their face. Lionel Messi, I believe it was, in the whole build up to the thing. And I'm like, this is why I hate you, Fox.
Right.
This is why I hate you. Although it was nice to see Alexi Lalas eat crow.
Yeah.
That was good. Always enjoyable.
The thing that if this was even 4 years ago, they would have cut to Fox. It might not have even been on the main network.
On Fox, right.
It would have probably been on Fox Sports because they would have allowed the pre-games to go off. And if it didn't go to extra time, they would have cut to, they had already said they were cutting to the trophy ceremony on FS1. So, Mel, what do you got?
So we don't have exact numbers yet, but FIFA has said over 3.5 billion people watched some of the World Cup.
Okay.
It set records in France and most of Europe, and in America. The final was watched. I'm sorry. The men's match was the most ever watched. 19.65 million viewers on Fox in America. Unfortunately, that's not the biggest World Cup American viewership. That would be 25 million people watched the Women's World Cup final in 2015.
Good.
Okay, very good.
Awesome.
Very good.
As they should, because they're actually a good team. And women's football is respectable and the same product. Watch it.
Very good. All right, let's get into the
Especially since they wear shorter shorts and tighter shirts.
Thanks, Sepp Blatter.
Sepp Blatter. That's a direct quote. What a I could do that now.
Yeah, just hold up the cup.
Oh, just remember, when she's as pretty as that, you got to sneak a kiss.
Oh, yeah.
I've always said that.
You know, that's what Rob Stone said about the trophy during the trophy ceremony.
As soon as the words came out of his mouth, he was like, fuck,
I shouldn't have said
that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, but I think it's more tongue in cheek than it was a grab her by the pussy moment.
Out of context, It sounded worse than it was. In context, it was fine. But if you're just twirling your phone, you hear that, you're like, excuse me?
But it's okay for the president to grab her by the pussy.
Yeah, well,
Let's get into the action.
Which Emmy Martinez did. Sorry, Emmy Martinez grabbed it.
Speaking of action, how's Emmy doing?
Fucking just Jesus Christ.
All right, go.
You.
Got a bus over here I'm driving. Y'all need to fucking follow. First half completely dominated by Argentina. They could not have played a more perfect game in the first half against France.
It was textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the France squad was getting over illness and all that kind of stuff and may have taken a while to get going. A while. 70-odd minutes.
We'll get to that. That's the second half.
But yeah, Argentina were all over them. They didn't score too early, which is a concern, but they scored early enough that France had to come out and do something, which created other opportunities, and made for an enjoyable final. Made for a very enjoyable final, arguably one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
Yeah, and Messi doing it all, of course, scores the penalty to open up the action, but then for Di Maria's goal, assisted by McAllister, who did the cheeky little flick to McAllister that got him wide open. Messi, right in the middle of the pitch.
Messi also gave the ball away for Mbappe's second goal. He was the one the one that got the ball taken off of.
We're going to get to the second half in a minute, right?
Well,
now.
I'm just saying, like his imprints were all over the game, is what I mean, and it was a game of imperfections, which made it enjoyable, which made it fun, because normally finals suck.
Yeah.
Finals are a team trying not to lose rather than a team trying to win.
Right.
And this was two heavyweights lugging it out. This was two people going, that just stood back and went, poof, ugh, fuck you, poof, fuck you, poof.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
To the point where...
It was just haymaker after haymaker, and it was lovely.
To the point where Deschamps, the head coach for France, removed two stalwart, perfect fucking players for them the whole World Cup.
Cost me $500 in real winnings. The only part of my parlays that I did not hit were Olivier Giroud to have 2 shots and 3 shots.
Yep.
Not even on target. Just attempts at goal. Near goal. We kind of knew it was an attempt.
Oh.
And he got subbed off before France registered a shot.
I was going to say, in order for him to get shots on target, that would mean France would need to create the opportunity to have a shot, and they weren't even doing that.
And that was the worst part of it, because I didn't even bet the shots to be on target. Part of the parlay was just 3 shots. He needed to generally push the ball towards the net. If he went out for a goal kick, shot.
Yeah, that's all you needed.
Fuck.
Needed there to be a corner for him to head over top of the goal. He could have kicked one in Rosette. That was, as we're chatting.
If he swung hard at it facing goal, but it went out for a throw-in, shot. That was a shot.
As we were chatting about while the match was going on, I was like, why hasn't someone from France just taken one from 30 yards out and put it in Rosette? Just to have gotten a shot.
Well, oftentimes you've said it to us playing indoor back in the day too, as you're sitting back there watching or what have you, that take a pot from outside. Try to make sure it's on target, because then they have to worry about it. Right. They have to step out, which will then create those pockets of space for Mbappe to run into, for Giroud to even have space to hold the ball up.
Yeah.
Argentina did a lot of what England did in the quarterfinals. And that was, as soon as Mbappe got the ball, 3 players on him. Mm-hmm. And he was completely voided in that first half. You're absolutely right.
Well, and with, Dembele was miserable.
Best.
Yeah, exactly. And Giroud, it's no fault of his, but there was just no one getting the ball to him.
There's no service.
And they had to change the game plan from, we're going to put it to the big fella.
Yeah.
Because they weren't even getting it to the big fella.
Well, but he's also...
And they needed to be able to start to move Mbappe around to get him free.
He's a very technically gifted player, Giroud, but he can't do it on his own. He's too big, and he's not fast enough. He can't do it on his own. He needs service, or he needs somebody to run off of him to create enough space that he could take his slow ass and get it done.
Yeah, and what they ultimately had to do, and I know that you and Rob, because you're also both secretly in love with him, had
That's secret. I've been very open about that.
Very open about it. That's right.
I might keep it quiet if I was in the country of Qatar.
Yeah,
but I wasn't, so I could be open about it.
I know you, Rob, and him all want to start a throuple together. Although
we divorce you in a heartbeat and pick him up.
You're going to have some serious beard envy for you, though, man.
I
Those
don't care.
two big, luscious
That doesn't
beards.
bother me. I got hair. They got hair envy.
Very good. Now,
What they here's a good one. What they lack down below, I've got up top. Not sure if that makes sense or if I just called myself a dickhead.
yeah, I think you did just call yourself a dickhead.
That's fine.
On to the second half. Here was probably, if we're going to be critical of this match at all, from the start of the second half till the 70th minute was a little slow. And you could tell.
Yeah.
Now, here was the problem, though. Argentina had decided, we're just going to keep them out. All we got to do is see this thing out. All we got to do is see this thing out. You forget who the guy on the other side of the fucking pitch is. And while Messi may be the greatest modern day player,
Mbappe's the future.
he's the greatest future
But
player.
he's also here.
Yeah. And
He's already got we fail to remember, he's already got a World Cup under his belt. And that's the one thing that Messi didn't have. So the debate's going to be, is Mbappe on the same plane as Pele, Maradona, Ronaldo, and Messi?
right now, you would say he's on that trajectory.
Absolutely.
He's on the trajectory.
100%.
Yeah. Now, from there, Deschamps also then subs out Griezmann, who has been Griezmann and Giroud are the reason why they won.
That was in the second half.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
is the reason why they won the last World Cup was those two. That's why they won it, right? And N'Golo Kante, who wasn't even on the squad this
Well,
year.
he was injured. Yeah.
The
Also, picture shared of him does look like he gained a little weight. Looks like he might have an Eden Hazard problem.
heard Eden Hazard problem. He didn't even have to go to Madrid to do that. He did it right
He
there.
did
at
it right
Chelsea.
there in London. Yeah.
The thing that started to happen is while the moves seemed odd, what you started to notice from France is you now had 6 guys between the midfield and up front that all could kind of interchange and move, and you could see it was starting to hassle
work,
Argentina. And Argentina was having a difficult time tracking people, staying with people. Suddenly through balls are getting in. And this is with them being very defensive minded. And finally, in the 70th minute, they finally get a shot. Oh my God. It only took them 70 fucking minutes to get a shot. In our text thread, again, I at one point went, I am actively rooting now for France to not get a shot.
To not even get a shot.
I just want to be able to make fun of them for not even getting a shot. So they get that shot, but you're starting to see
Excuse
things.
me. It just fell out of there.
Well, just, sometimes man got to burp, man.
She looked at me funny.
Okay, it sounded like your fucking stomach bile was coming out of you.
It's just a burp.
You were starting to see it was working. You could start to see it was coming together. And then 80th minute, penalty, Mbappe to the penalty spot, puts it away. Emmy gets a hand to it, though.
Oh, yeah. Before that, before I get to the penalty bit, what I would say is the old adage of 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in sports is absolutely true, and this is why.
Yes.
For people that don't understand that. Because you feel like you're comfortable, but it takes one moment of either brilliance or idiocy, and all of a sudden they're right back in it. And if you've let yourself feel comfortable, we've talked about it time and time again. If you start to coast, it's very hard to lift yourself and get yourself out of that as a group.
Exactly.
Which that proved to be the case. Until there was finally a break and extra time started. Because I thought extra time was brilliant from both sides.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a moment, too. Right.
What I'm saying, in terms of this time period, Argentina let themselves fall into a lull.
Yep.
And they were screaming for normal time to be over with by the end of it.
I was going to say, in that 80th minute, they get the penalty, and then 2 minutes later.
Which was a little soft.
Yeah, but still
deserved penalty.
You know, the first one for Di Maria was soft, but it was still a penalty. It was still undoubtedly a penalty. Even if it was soft, it was...
Hands down, both of them were soft.
Both of them were penalties. Then they make it 2-2, and as you said, the rest of that 10 minutes plus the 8 minutes of extra time, that 18 minutes was all France, and it felt like France was going to get a third and Argentina was going to lose the World Cup.
I said, my mother and Tegan were there with me, and I was like, they're going to blow it. They're going to fucking blow it.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're going to blow it. And then, luckily, it was not a very experienced striker that it fell to. But it fell to, I can't even remember his name now, the younger, tall, black French kid up front that came in.
Are you talking about the one in the extra time? Because there was that one right
The
at the
one
end.
in stoppage time.
No, that one we'll get to. I wanted because Messi almost scored at the end of regulation.
Yeah,
with
but
that
so did
Lloris.
Emmy saved and sprawled.
Yeah.
That was in regular time.
Okay, got it. Yes,
I think.
Yes. The one where he
Was
got
that in
big,
regular time, or
no,
was
the
it,
one where he got big was literally
there was so much shit that went on, I can't keep it straight either.
that one, and I'm going to get to that one, was literally at like 121.
Oh, that was in extra time.
Yeah.
Okay, that was in stoppage time of
that
extra
was,
time.
Yeah, that was the
Okay. The
greatest
one that-
save.
the one that
Because
happened
Messi, Messi almost scored in regular
And
time.
Lloris saw it cleanly and made the nice save.
There was another shot too that came in that Lloris hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Lloris saved, rather.
The one that Emmy, the one that was at the end of regulation that France almost scored on was the one where ultimately Otamendi went down to his knee and hit it off his hip
And
back
put
to,
it back to Emmy. Emmy
Yeah.
got the block first,
Yeah.
but spilled it. Yes, okay. All right, I got the two confused.
Yeah, it was fucking insanity.
Which also, that was an intentional pass back. He passed it off of his legs.
I know. Didn't get called.
Isn't waist down the rule, or is
I
it
thought it was
specifically foot?
It's foot. It's specifically foot.
Okay. I know header's fine. I know chest is fine. I know shoulder's fine.
Oh, thigh's fine. A belly's fine. It's
Thigh is
just
fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
I thought
not
it might
the
have
foot.
been waist down. Just
Not
can't
the
be
foot.
an intentional pass back. Okay.
not with the
With
foot.
the foot. That, not something you would often associate with Nicolas Otamendi. Quick thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very well done.
Then we go into extra time, and honestly, at that point, light switch back on for fucking Argentina. The entire first 15 was Argentina pounding France, and then you get to the second 15, Messi does it again, another fucking goal.
And he knew it.
Yeah,
And what I loved too was when everybody was surrounding the referee for offsides and this, that, the other, all that kind of shit. Right before that, they showed the referee and he had his hands out like, get back, get back, get back. But the way in which he was positioned, the television camera, you could see the big watch. And I never seen the watch before. It was flashing green and black, and you could see the word goal written.
yeah, yep,
I had never seen the actual watch before. That's pretty dope.
yep.
So he was like, no, go away. Like they're doing one of these things.
Yep.
And then, but the TV camera was at his back. So when he was pushing away like this, you
could
could
see it saying
see the
goal.
watch. Yeah. They had zoomed in on him. And I had never seen the watch. I don't know why they take so long to look at it, because it was in size 42 fucking font.
Going gold, 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 gold,
Yeah.
gold.
And also, why green and black?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's an odd. Should be
Here it-
red or yellow.
So here it is again. 5 minutes left. Messi's going to do it. Messi's going to finally win a World Cup. Oh, nope, wait. Fucking defense is going to fuck it off again for him.
3 minutes left. And he comes out like this, hits off his forearm.
Yep.
It's
Montenal, who scores the winner in the penalties.
It scored the winner in the penalty shootout. Yeah, exactly. But he's the one that gave the penalty away.
Yep, doing this
Monatel, maybe, I think.
Yeah,
is his
where
name.
he throws out the arm and turns the back and pretends like the arm isn't there. Dude, we all see the fucking arm there. It's clearly a handball. It's not even up for debate. And again, this time he gets Emmy to go the wrong way, but just puts it. He walked up and did exactly what fucking Kane couldn't do. He put it in the exact same fucking spot. He walked right up and went, I dare you to fucking stop it. I'm going right. And then with his third kick, when we get to the penalties, same fucking spot again. He walked right
And
up.
Emmy
all
got
three.
a hand at that one, too.
He hit the shit out of it so hard it didn't matter. Both those two that Emmy got hands to, it didn't matter. Hit it so fucking hard. If you get up there and you know you're gonna fucking rip up the ball through the back of the net, you place it where you want it. Hit as hard as you can. A keeper's not stopping it. I don't care if a keeper guesses
the
right.
only DU championship that we had decided by a penalty shootout? I scored the winner, and I hit the inside of the keeper's thigh and he couldn't save it because all I did was smash the fuck out of it.
For D1, yep.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yep.
Just get up and smash it. You're 12 yards away, and most of us can kick the ball 75 miles an hour plus.
Just kick
and if
it
you
hard.
think from 36 feet somebody's able to react to a 75 mile an hour ball, you're insane.
No, they can't. Just rip the shit out of it.
Just rip the shit out of it. As long as you don't kick it straight at him to where he doesn't have to move.
Yeah.
So put it waist height to it, a foot and a half, 3 feet to his right.
Yeah. He ain't getting
Just
it.
banging. He ain't getting there.
Just hit it hard.
Because he won't be able to react in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Hit it hard.
Wasn't that Harry Kane's philosophy? Just
Except for
rip
he
it?
put it in Rose's head.
Yeah, but you gotta keep it down. You gotta keep it on frame.
I believe one of the latest trolls I saw was it landing in Buenos Aires at the end of the final.
Nice.
I saw the Bermuda Triangle one.
Yeah, very
Or
good.
said it had just been located floating around the Bermuda Triangle.
Mbappe steps up, puts it in the back of the net again. Fucking hat trick. The second player ever to do that in a World Cup final.
Ali McCoist would let you to believe he's the first player to ever do it where all 3 balls cross the line.
I saw that one too.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
I shared that. Thank you very much.
Fucking great.
Proper Scotsman digging it in.
Always having a piss at the English, you know.
So the first one was obviously Jeff Hurst in 1966 against West Germany. One might forget all 3 of those goals were from open play. Was also a perfect hat trick.
Oh, not a Scandinavian hat trick?
Definitely not one of those. Don't Google that if you have children. It's not safe for work. Use incognito mode if you want to know what that is. That was an accident on our part. It's a sex term, by the way, a deviant sex term.
I think we can all figure that out.
But yeah, so Jeff Hurst had a perfect hat trick. So left foot, right foot header. Yeah. Mbappe, so all also from open play. Mbappe had 2 penalties in there. Come on. Lame.
And then with only 3 minutes left, it's back and forth fucking again. Argentina pushing. Quick counterattack, perfectly threaded pass by Mbappe. Looks like he's going to get the assist that's going to win the World Cup. 4-3. It's all over. Emmy comes up with probably the biggest, and it's probably why he gets the glove, and we'll talk about if he deserved it or not in the next segment. That save, more so than saving a penalty, is probably why he got that glove. Because, and credit to the commentators, like when they cut back from Stu and John, it's John who does who are the 2 primary guys. But when they come back, like Landon Donovan just in there going, that save, that save, that save.
That was the entire World Cup right there.
That game should be over.
For Argentina, that save was the entire World Cup.
I mean, of all the amazing things, Messi, the GOAT, and standing up and carrying the team. And That save. That fucking save.
When you look at the zoomed in screenshot of it, you can see like his eyes are on the ball.
He meant it.
That was.
He didn't get lucky. He meant it.
And he got, as we always say as a keeper, when you're coming out on something like that, just get
as big as possible.
Big. Just get really fucking big.
But as Mel says, he's fixated on the ball.
Yeah.
That was intentional.
Yeah, and you
It's
saw
not,
that ball
yes, make yourself as big as you can. Sometimes you'll get lucky.
Yeah.
He fucking meant that.
Eyes are zoomed in on that, and it's just that focus and that killer instinct that he's got.
And then it goes to penalties. And you know what?
I knew it was one. As soon as it went to penalties, I was like, here we go. Get it on. So excited.
Both teams
I'm so excited.
Again, did exactly what I want to see. Team, who are the first 2 fucking penalty kickers? France,
2 best players for the team.
Argentina, Messi.
So I either want them, that scenario, I either want them to be first or last.
Right.
You either put everything on their shoulders or you get it started off on the right foot. Either or, but I want one of those 2. I hate it when the best penalty taker on the team goes second or third. That is the most annoying thing in the world to me.
I was going to say, for my opinion, there's only one place for him. It's number 1.
Yeah.
I don't even like them going 5th, because if they go 5th,
Well, they might even get to him.
Might not get to him. Fucking
I would
first guy.
but
You're starting everything. Fucking put the ball in the back of the net. You're our fucking leader. Show us how it's done.
This particular one, obviously, you got the redemption story because it went there. But think of if that cunt missed it and you still had Messi to go. And the weight of the world, literally, the weight of Argentina, the weight of everybody that considers him a pseudo god at this point is on his shoulders. His last game, last kick of the ball for Argentina is the penalty that crosses the line. That's a storybook made in fucking written for the ages. That's something Homer couldn't even have thought of in fucking in Greece 2,000 years ago. You get that would be I say either first or last. But I hate when they take the middle bit. But second or third, fuck you. Get out. You're a coward.
Mbappe up there, boom, back of the net.
Yep. Messi
up there, boom,
bang.
back of the net. And you knew it. You knew it. I don't even remember who the fuck it was who shot second for France. I'm just sitting there going, Emmy's gonna save this one. I don't know.
It was the third one I remember was the kid that scored the banger against England.
We'll get to that one in just a moment, the shithousery. But number 2, it was, I'm just like, yeah, Emmy's gonna save it. We know Emmy's gonna save it, right? And fucking lo and behold, in his chest, he was so ahead of the ball. It hit him, and they didn't hit him in his hands. Hit him in his chest.
I would argue it went through his hands and hit him in the chest.
I'm doing an Emmy dance.
I think it's intentional. I think he purposely didn't catch it.
Yeah,
it went right between his hands.
Yeah,
and hit him in the chest.
Right.
I think that was intentional.
Just to be like, look
just
at me.
to be a dickhead.
Just to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Then
which
of course
pisses Rob off apparently.
Okay. So then
Rob's very angry at Emmy all weekend.
So France gets Argentina comes up and scores, and then Emmy, instead of doing the whole walking up to the line and talking shit, grabs the ball, walking back and forth with it. The guy
throws it 20 yards away.
Throws it the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And the shooter shrugged his shoulders like kind of at him, and it was like his mind's already out of the fucking shot. His mind's already out of the fucking
he's also
shot.
young. This was the kid, I can't pronounce his name, but this was the kid that scored the first goal against England from 25 out.
Yep.
Scored that banger and ends up stepping up because of, I think, a lot to do with the mind games.
Oh, it was 100%.
To be honest.
He was psyched out of it completely. That was not a physical save. That was a fucking save by Emi Martinez.
He put it wide, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that
because even if that was on target, Emi was there.
But I also think he was one of the ones that was sick and played 120 minutes.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the ones that got that flu bug that was going around and ended up playing 120 minutes. I wonder how much fatigue came into it. I wonder why he was one, being so inexperienced, was one of the ones to take it. And then the mind games from people forget, the commentators talked about it a bit, but not a lot of people remember. He saved 2 penalties against Brazil in the Copa America final 2 years ago. He saved a penalty in the build-up. I can't remember if it was the semifinals or the final.
Semifinals he saved against Colombia in the Copa America. He saved Jerry Mina and did a bunch of shit
I'm talking about
in front of him.
I'm talking about for Arsenal in the FA Cup when they won the FA Cup in his last game for the Arsenal. He saved a penalty in one of the 2 games in the build-up to that.
He's a stone-cold killer on that spot, man.
He's one for the big time. Now, what makes Rob mad is Emmy was very humble, being a number 2, and he actually, fair play to Rob, because he normally doesn't concede this point. He said, I had a fair point, which he normally just tells me I'm fucking wrong.
Right. You're wrong, asshole.
But basically, he said, why is Emmy being such a dick? He was so good with Arsenal. So he was a number 2. He didn't have a place to be a dick.
Yeah.
When he said to Mikel Arteta, I want to be the number 1, and he said, I'm sorry, we're going to buy somebody else.
Yeah.
You're the best backup in the business. He said, I'd like you to sell me.
Yeah.
And now that he's been a number 1 for 2 seasons.
With who?
Villa.
Oh, that's right.
And he won, 14th. And he won 14th place
Don't care.
Villa.
World Cup goalie.
Yeah, first place Argentina.
World Cup goalie that y'all threw away.
Yeah, but he learned everything at Arsenal. He didn't learn anything from that relegation
How would he learn something at Arsenal? Y'all loaned him out so many times.
No, he just sat on the bench all the time. He just never played.
It was number 2. It was fine. He went... you made me lose my train of thought, you dick.
Good.
So he goes to Villa, is Argentina's number one, saves the 2 penalties in the Copa America, right? This is just after saving a penalty in the build-up to the FA in the FA Cup run. They kept Arsenal alive, and they went on to win the trophy. He just become a number one for Villa. He's doing all that shite, and then he comes here and he does this. So he developed this ego over the last 2 years of his career. But he delivers, so rightly so, because that ego is not getting in the way of the team. And that's my problem with Ronaldo. His ego does get in the way of the team. Messi and Emmy can literally do what the fuck they want because the team goes, they buy into he can do what the fuck he wants.
Right.
And it's fine. When your ego gets in the way of the team, it's a problem.
Emmy also isn't normally doing all that crazy shit during the match itself.
No.
He may give a fist bump or a big save or smack a hand or two, but
It's only mind games during
penalties.
pens.
Yeah. It's penalties. Because the one he saved, he like come running off the line and did like 3 cheers, jumping in the air, pumping his fist. It gets in the fucking head of the shooter, man. Yep. It gets in the head of the shooter. Absolutely.
One of the an article I was reading questioned why the French captain wasn't taking the ball and giving it to his players.
Hugo Lloris?
Yeah.
Jordan Pickford does that.
Yeah.
He'll take the ball after it's scored by his by their players.
Yeah.
He'll run over and grab the ball before the keeper has a chance to get it.
Why let Emmy even
have a chance? Yeah.
Right.
Have a chance to chuck the ball away or hold on to it too long or what have you. Yeah. That's that's a fair point.
Right. Yeah, it's fair.
Probably because he plays for Tottenham and he's a cunt.
There it is. More pro Arsenal agenda.
So the villain for the handball.
You get it somewhere.
The villain for the handball gets to walk up, puts it away, wins the World Cup.
It's fucking awesome.
And
there's your story.
Argentina.
He started to take his shirt off and celebrate, gets the shirt off, and then just started weeping. He just couldn't even deal with it. He just stopped running and put his hands in his face like this.
The head coach didn't run onto the pitch. He started to walk onto the pitch and just stopped and started sobbing. Like
I don't know if you saw the Di Maria cam.
No.
As everything was going on, he cried when he scored. He cried when he got substituted. He cried at full time. He cried at extra time. The second half of extra time. He cried when Messi scored in extra time. He cried at the end of extra time, and then he cried again when they finished it.
Nice solid half dozen
6.
cries.
He got 2 hat tricks.
Mental
2
health.
hat tricks of cries.
Yeah.
mental health is fucking important shit, man.
Messi cried once. Like even when he had his kids and everything.
My mom was crying when he embraced his kids and his mom. My mother was crying.
I was crying, and Messi was just floating around.
And my mom, much in the Jan vein, goes, "I don't know why I'm crying right now. I don't care," and just started crying. Difference is Jan said that at y'all's wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Burn, sweet burn.
Look at you practicing roast material.
Sweet burn.
Stop stealing Jan's jokes for the roast. So then,
Jan needs therapy.
Here it is. They've won the World Cup, and Messi just a smile on his face.
Yeah.
No crying, no tears, no fist bumping.
Well, if you remember initially, there was no real celebration.
Yeah.
I didn't see the sprint from midfield that most people do.
Almost everybody, it was
broke down in tears.
There was a lot of Argentinian fans behind the goal, so a lot of them just immediately started going to their countrymen.
Well, the sprint came from Sergio Aguero with his drum in the stands.
That was fucking fantastic.
Brilliant.
I love Sergio Aguero, ex-Argentine player, was in a World Cup final. What did he do? He flew his ass over to Qatar. Fuck Qatar. Grabbed the fucking drum and hung out with the fucking countrymen in the stands, beating the fucking drum.
Leading the charge. But as soon as it happened, you saw him. He went, grabbed the drum and started running down the stairs, and then tried to get over the hoarding. Somebody went like this, and he goes, "Fuck you, I'm Sergio Aguero." And then he gets on the field, and he's just beating a drum with everybody, just hanging out. But the Argentina players didn't sprint over. It was more of a release of emotion.
Yeah.
It was almost that penalty went in, and it was a sense of relief, an emotional orgasm.
Because you almost pissed it away. You almost pissed it away.
And then celebration.
You almost pissed it away 3 times.
Right.
Did you see what Messi did? After the second PK, he went right up to Emmy. Unfortunately, they had them both mic'd and whispered in Emmy's ear, well, we had a deal. I guess I'm going to Villa.
She'd been practicing that one all day.
I'm very proud of myself for that.
I'll tell you something. He owns a penthouse apartment in Miami, Florida. I guarantee you he does not own property in Birmingham.
There is one thing. There's one thing we need to do right quick.
I'll just go for half the season. That's it. Just
I mean, he makes $700,000 a week. He could buy a whole street in Birmingham for $700,000.
All right, motherfuckers, we're driving the bus over here. Look, one thing of shithousery to discuss, and then we need to bring up just a little bit of talk about Messi before we go into the next segment. A female willycopter kind of thing happened.
Yes, I missed this.
So right against the railing, right? And Mel was all like, oh, look at the big fella. Like there was a big guy crying. It was kind of there's been screenshots since of right where that big fella was. One rather fit Argentine lady just took off her top.
Yeah.
Just
brilliant.
Off.
Straight Capitals Stanley Cup style, huh? Just press them right against the glass?
No. Jersey off. Fully topless.
Just doing this?
No. Just fuck it. I'm shirtless now. Like a dude would be, right? Like you would just, like a dude would just rip off his shirt and be like.
Most of them were,
and be
to
like,
be honest.
I'm a man. She was just like.
By the way, that is a jailable offense in Qatar.
Yeah, are you pulling up the picture?
I'm finding it right now.
Titties out. Fuck you.
Hey, do you have the "We'll be back in 5 minutes" sign for the show, for the stream?
Oh, come on. You only need 30 seconds.
Oh, there's no way that's real.
Totally real. No, the photo's real. Those aren't.
Nah, no way they're
No
real.
way.
But yeah.
No, I don't even think this. She doesn't look real. Look how it. I can't turn it, but so far, look how her body tapers downward.
Yeah,
She looks like a cardboard cutout.
I again.
No, you see what I'm talking about?
I see what you're talking about.
There is no chauvinism, just respecting the game. Fuck you, my country won. Titties out.
Hey, listen.
It's brilliant. It's just brilliant. Titties out.
I mean, the guy next to her went topless. Why can't she go topless too?
And what I also love is none of them, all the people around her, don't care. Like, all right, titties are out. Good on you.
Yeah, what did Ron White say? He said, anybody wants to see titties? Like, yeah, I want to see titties. A 90-year-old biker chick could come up to be like, I want to see my titties. Yeah.
I was going to say she was just doing her best. I was just going to say she was doing her best Nas. Don't say it's topless. Say the titties are out.
All right, roll them back up.
All right, so.
I love Ron White. It's funny as fuck.
We are going to.
I like that, though. It's much in the vein. Remember the lady at the Stanley Cup final in Vegas that pressed him against the glass as the Caps were go?
Yep.
So the camera was definitely on him.
Right on him.
Because they were skating by with the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
I'm all for it. It's great. Yes, I am a man. It is enjoyable to look at. But I'm all for it. Free the nipple, man. That's cool. Not a problem. It'll stop being super enjoyable when it becomes normal. But until then, it's exciting.
So there's going to be discussions, of course. And, people are going to say, again, like I said, with recency bias, they're going to say Messi is the greatest of all time. I think that's still up for debate. I still think it's up for debate of Maradona and him. But it's certainly there's no debate when it comes to someone like Pele, because we look at all the things that he's accomplished, that Messi's accomplished. Just a quick reminder for everybody. Pele played in 823 professional matches. Pele scored 775 goals in 823 matches. Messi's not even, it's played in about 540. Like, just wrap.
But he's also scored over 700 goals.
overall professionally right now it's 554, I think. It's
No,
the
'cause
grand-
didn't they send out Budweiser? Didn't they send out things for 600 or 700?
I googled it earlier.
A couple years ago.
I was googling it earlier today. I could be wrong. But I just want to say, let's kind of, and also, Messi has 1. Pele has 3. And Pele would have likely have had 4, but 66, obviously, England won. And he was injured while playing that entire World Cup. He was basically playing on one leg, and he still fucking played in that World Cup.
He also should mention real quick while we're talking about it, again, he has not passed away yet, thank goodness. But keep Pele in your prayers
Yes, absolutely.
and thoughts.
Oh, what is she showing Sam here?
Oh, that
comparison.
Christian's watching, and he's already made a meme of Sam Graham saying what they lack up there. I've got down here.
Very good. Love it. Fucking great.
That's in our closed group, Drunkards United Football Club.
I eerily
FC.
look a lot like Giroud there.
See what you did, Christian. See what you did.
Or better
The
yet,
only thing I'm missing is a wee bit of gel.
actually, the best thing, the best quote of the day was she called him Gerard instead of Giroud,
Oh.
and I was like, "Hey, hon, no, it's Giroud." She goes, "Whatever, French Rob,
That's funny.
French Rob, that's who it is."
That's it, French
Now,
Rob.
the angle of this photo makes my nose look really fat. Have you noticed that? Look how wide my nose looks there.
Oh my God.
That's not my nose.
Yet it is.
Here's the final thought before we go into the next segment, Sam, is say whatever you want. One thing that is absolutely not up for debate at all, the talk of CR7 versus Messi, the greatest modern day player is Lionel Messi, and it's not debatable.
It's over.
It's
Now,
not debatable.
in my opinion, it was over prior to this because the one thing Messi had lacked was a continental tournament that Ronaldo had in his trophy cabinet. They both had Champions Leagues. They both had league titles. They both had whatever, right? The one thing Messi lacked that Ronaldo did have was a continental trophy.
Yep. And Messi went and got
Messi
one.
went and got one. Well,
Yeah.
Emmy got it for him, but
Yeah.
they went and got one together. They had
Right.
a wee jaunt in the summer and went and got one
Right.
together. Then it became who has a world title. And Lionel Messi, in the literally only world championship that there is, at least the oldest one,
Right.
Lionel Messi now has it and solidifies himself as the modern day GOAT. All time, there is still up for debate, and Ronaldo is still in that debate, and that's fine. But modern day, Lionel Messi is the greatest player of this generation. Hands down, feet down, turn to the east and pray, get on your knees in church. Lionel Messi is the fucking GOAT of our generation, period.
I had other thoughts, but you know what? No, that's the perfect way to end it, and it's undeniable. It really is undeniable.
100%. There's no argument. And come see me. When things got shitty, Messi stayed and stood up. When things got shitty for Portugal, they benched Ronaldo and they got better. And then they lost, and Ronaldo bitched off down the tunnel crying instead of consoling his teammates like a leader.
Yep.
And congratulating the opposition.
Messi defends. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest difference, right? I mean, Ronaldo sits at the top and expects the ball to get to him, and Messi was everywhere, going in on tackles. And when he goes down, like, he may look at a ref and be like, come on now, man, like, there's got to be a card eventually or something like that. Like, you'll see him get upset, but Mel's doing the sticker bit. Fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Thank
She
you.
just starts slapping him down.
Great
Dang.
production. Great production.
Fantastic.
Award winners. Argentina takes 3 of the 4 awards with best young player.
Just so the stream can see, that's
Yeah.
how it looks.
Right
Right
there.
there.
Good. Very good. Let's keep this rolling.
Yeah.
Then Player of the tournament, obviously Messi. It's not even a question. Yes, he was between goals and assists. He did everything. Golden Boot went to Kylian Mbappe, who was not happy about getting that trophy at all.
There's a caveat to that too. However, that was another exciting aspect of the final itself. Was the Golden Boot changed hands 3 times because Kylian Mbappe had it going in. Messi scored, gave it to Messi. Kylian Mbappe scored again, or scored the first goal rather, went back to Mbappe. Then Messi scored an extra time, went back to Messi, and then Kylian Mbappe scored the final time, and it went back to him because Messi had it tiebreaker on assists.
Yep, he had it on tiebreaker on assists.
That was brilliant.
I would like to say we're here for the live stream. Kylian Mbappe, this was his look with the trophy.
Aww.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was
For sure.
Held it at his side and just kind of yeah. Here's this, and then
He stayed professional about it. Just stood there, cold, stone face, fine, great, whatever.
Golden Gloves goes to Emmy. Now, I've never seen a keeper give up 10 goals and get in the tournament and get the Golden Gloves. I think that save at the end and the penalty saves in 2 knockout games, including the final, had something to do with it. But I would debate that Morocco's keeper certainly deserved a shout at it. And I would also say, if we're talking about penalty saves and knockout stages, fucking Croatia's keeper certainly deserved it as well.
I got to go back and actually look at the stats, but there was another show I was listening to today that pointed out the fact that they think that Emmy was tied or only 1 less clean sheet than the
Croatian.
Maybe Croatian keeper and the Moroccan keeper. He only had 1 less, or he was equal to on clean sheets. But exactly what you just said, that save at the end of extra time
Probably
puts you over the edge, or just by itself alone standing, you win.
Yeah.
FIFA might be regretting giving it to him.
Could be.
So
Maybe.
Mel,
Yeah.
why don't we talk a little bit about when Emmy got the Golden Glove trophy?
Fucking love it. Apparently. Now, he did an interview with an Argentinian podcast that I listened to part of it. And he said that when he got the award, the French fans were booing very loudly. So he was not happy with that and decided to show them how happy he was.
Okay.
Not the first time he's humped anything or a trophy or the air. It's just kind of what we come to expect from Emmy. And then, being the dork he is, then goes over and starts blowing the thumb.
Yes, his photo with it. He's going.
He's such a goober.
But then he took 3 steps and did the same pose for the next set of photographers, blowing the thumb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He made sure everybody got the angle of all the blowing and all the humping.
All the blowing.
Because you know why? Hashtag VellaFucks.
All right, so they start handing out the medals, and the one bit I don't hate at all is when the second place team gets the fucking medal. They put it around their neck, and then they promptly take it off the minute they walk away.
Off. Yeah.
Just take it off. The pitcher, their team pitcher, who is they're all just kind of scattered. It looks like a Christian rock album with like one guy looking off in the distance, the other guy looking right at the camera. One guy's turned around like they could fucking care less.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit.
They're just all strewn all over the place. Nobody can give a shit.
Speaking of not giving a shit, you know what I loved? So Kylian Mbappe, and this is mad respect, and will be from us. I don't know if you've heard this. He is staunchly against being used for political or commercial gains for shit he doesn't believe in. And Macron is in bed with the Qataris because of their investment in Paris and their investment in France owning PSG, but their investment in that whole thing. We'll come on to the robe on Messi.
That's the very next thing.
We'll come on to that. But they also own Mbappe at PSG, right?
Right.
he is staunchly against being used for anything that he doesn't believe in, and like he doesn't do adverts for alcohol. He frequently doesn't show up to team photo shoots for adverts for alcohol and gambling. He's not a part of any of that. And Macron has tried to phone him and use him for those things. He called him to try to get him to stay at PSG. Not saying that was part of Mbappe's decision to stay, but my mother even said at this point he's just being rude, not knowing the context. To when he didn't once make eye contact with Macron at all, right?
Really?
Not once. Watch the medal presentation back. He didn't once. He gave a half-hearted handshake because he has to, because he's there, and then he's looking down like this the whole time while Macron's talking into his ear. And he's just like, yeah, okay. He tried to walk away twice, and Macron kind of brought him back. So he was just like, fuck you. Like, I'm not listening to you. I don't want to be here. I don't know why you want me here. I'm not being used for your bullshit. You're not going to get a nice smiling photo of me with you. Fuck you.
Right.
I'm not going to smile for the camera.
him.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves massive respect.
Yeah. It was odd seeing Macron down there on the pitch, like after the
Well,
match.
he did it. Yeah, that's normal. They have the presidents of both countries, the presidents of both FAs.
Yeah, they're
and
there.
then the presidents of the
Host.
the governing body
Yeah.
of each continent. So the CONMEBOL president was there, as was Serafin.
Right.
Both in their FIFA crested jackets, cunts. But they were both there. The president of FIFA, obviously, King Infantino, was there, as well as So, but that's the line of dignitaries: is the presidents of the two countries, the presidents of the two FAs, and then the presidents of the two confederations.
Then fuck Qatar got exactly what fuck Qatar fucking paid for, and why they bribed everybody. They got to fucking shroud the goat in a fucking robe. Where you couldn't see his crest, you couldn't see his uniform as he lifted the fucking World Cup.
So, I don't have a problem with gifting him a robe. Often in Arab cultures and Asian cultures, you get, as a congratulations, you get gifted traditional garb or some sort of token of appreciation from the culture that you've done something within.
Right.
Fine. This is Lionel Messi's moment. This is Argentina's moment. And the man lifting the trophy was made to wear something that did not present his colors or his country.
Right.
They made it about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
When a gracious host makes it about their guests.
Mm-hmm.
And Qatar didn't do it. And that is distasteful. And I wish that was the only thing that I was egregious about this World Cup for.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's obviously not.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the most goals in a World Cup ever, the most minutes played in a World Cup ever, undoubtedly the greatest final, the greatest match, ever in a World Cup. And I would say there was some other fucking stellar match. That France fucking England match.
It's a great game.
Was incredible. Morocco beating Spain and Portugal back to back was fucking incredible. Like there were some Croatia beating Brazil was fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And those fucking cunts are gonna get to take all are gonna go, oh, it was our World Cup. It was at Qatar, greatest World Cup ever. You know that is the bullshit that is gonna be said. Yes, Mel.
I just want to bring a different viewpoint, and that's the cultural one. It's a bishati. I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's something only worn by royalty and clergy. It's considered to be one of the highest honors to be presented with that in their culture. And so him
Do it after the
being
trophy lift.
champion, that was part of their ceremony. So it was on
Do it
one
after the
hand, you
trophy
could make
lift.
an argument both ways, but it was
get a
their
picture of him in that robe with the fucking
Yeah.
trophy.
After.
Absolutely, positively. The moment he lifts that cup,
yeah.
it should be 1,000% about
Him, his team, and his country.
in his country. That's what it should be.
And it wasn't. It was about the fucking robe.
Yeah, it was about the
That's
fucking
the
robe.
problem.
Mel
That's
is-
my issue.
I'm camera.
What I'm saying is the act of putting it on him for the trophy lift itself was distasteful, not the act of giving it to him.
We're gonna need you're gonna need to take a selfie of
Oh,
that
I'm on camera.
because we're gonna need that for Instagram this week.
When
You
you're,
never give them pictures.
Maybe she'll text it to me by the middle of January.
I have some information about the Sheik in the back picture.
Oh,
of
yes. All right.
Okay.
Christian shared this with
Please
me.
tell me his name is Jafar.
No.
Damn it.
His name is.
Tell me it moved.
Yes. His name is Jassam bin Hamid bin Kafa al Tanari. He was the Qatar heir apparent until 2003 when he voluntarily gave up his succession to his younger brother. 2 years later, in a report with Al Jazeera, rumor has it he's gay.
I told you, oftentimes, mildly perturbed and horny have the same face.
Yes, they do.
That's pretty good. I don't even know what to say.
It makes it very confusing in my marriage, but yes, I see that piece all the time.
It doesn't make for a great podcast, but I'm actually speechless.
I often look and go, does my wife want to fight with me or does my wife
Or
want to
fuck
fuck
me?
me? I don't know.
Sometimes.
I'm not sure how to react right now. Sometimes both.
Real quickly, Sam, who do you think are favorites going into 2026?
Whew, that's a long way away. A lot can change.
Oh, of course.
Well, it's not Portugal or Argentina, I'll tell you that.
No, those are teams.
Actually, Portugal may be a dark horse for me.
Argentina, who's it going to be once Messi's gone and that defense isn't very poor? But they're still going to be in and about it, but I don't think they're real contenders.
I could see...
They honestly rub me as the kind of team that doesn't make it out of the group stages.
I
That
could see
typically happens.
I could see the U.S. being a dark horse. I could see France being there about, again, as usual, to be honest, because those kids that came on played fucking well.
Right.
They've also got injured players that are still of age and not too old that are very good that they were missing. I could see Brazil is a fairly young side as well, being there or thereabouts. Now that they have some experience, that'll probably be Neymar's last World Cup,
Right.
as he's 30 or 31.
Right.
Overall, as a team, I think England are probably my favorites,
Yeah.
to be honest. And I know the Euros will tell a lot in where they are, and it will be a new manager because the FA just came out this weekend and said Gareth Southgate's going to be staying on. But for the Euros, but no comment past that. And that's when his contract ends, is after the Euros.
Right.
If he wins it, you'd figure he'd be given a new contract.
Right.
But they would probably be, with this current crop of players, 4 years' time, I think you only have to replace, 2 or 3 people? Really?
Yeah. Harry Kane, maybe.
Yeah, Harry Kane, you have to, Jordan Henderson, and Kyle Walker.
Yeah,
Because
that's
Kyle Walker, I think, is 30.
Rest of that team's
Rest of
still
that team's
very young.
there.
Yeah, that was my
Or could be there.
my 3 favorites going into the next World Cup is Brazil, number 1 with a bullet, because that team is young and they're complete, which is that team's never been complete. That team's always lacked some fortitude. They've always lacked good defense. They're good all the way around. England is right up there, and France is undoubtedly still right up there for me.
Yep.
Those are the 3 teams that I look right off the bat and go, yep, those 3 I can already see 3 of the 4 semifinalists right there.
For sure.
Yeah.
And as we are accustomed to in this country of people not walking away gracefully, and apparently the people of Portugal as well, Ronaldo, I would say my hope, Not that I don't want to see him play anymore, but my hope is that was the last ball that Messi's ever kicked for Argentina.
I would hope so too.
Be graceful, finish on a high, walk away. Brett Favre wrote 2 books about it.
Mm-hmm.
Walk away.
Yeah, just call it a day.
Don't fucking screw it up.
Yeah.
This is your legacy. You are now the closest to immortal that a man will ever be. Leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep playing club ball. Fine. Go get your payday in Saudi Arabia. Fine. Not that he needs a payday. He's been making $1 million a week for 5 years. But walk away. Be done with Argentina now. You did it.
I'm going to leave that last line, Sam. I was going to leave that for parting words, I think.
Okay, that's fine then.
All right, perfect.
I was just going to say, don't pull a Brady.
Yeah.
Sure money.
Oh, shit. I pulled up the wrong shit on ESPN.
Yeah,
I had things.
Pat's email.
I had things for me to do.
Well, so allow me to do the following, Mr. Graham. I am currently pouring my shot on Malort
There you go.
because I did not hit my bet, and I played the game. I decided to go with, you know what? If I don't hit my bet, I'll still be okay because Sam's going to lose out. Sam swung big. Sam hit big.
Sam hit big. Yes, I did.
Sam wins. He had Argentina beating Croatia. He had France beating Morocco. And he had Argentina winning the World Cup. And to you, sir, you know what? It's just another fucking shot of Malort. I do enough of these already.
I was going to say, I took a picture of it, but I think I have 100 pictures of you and a glass of Malort.
Yeah, no shit. But it's been a little while. Wow. God, that shit sucks.
Oh, just wait. Prem's starting back up again. It'll be a regular routine for you again.
Yeah, I know, because Wolves will probably fucking beat us on Boxing Day. That's just, and then it's City. And then it's City on my birthday. That's going to be great. Going to fucking lose on my fucking birthday. That'll be fucking wonderful. I turned 50 and my team's going to suck. All right. Sam, what segment is this, by the way?
This is Sure Money. Sorry about that. I was ahead of myself for closing words because I forgot we were doing this, to be honest. So this is Sure Money. This is where we make bets to better inform you about your bets.
Oh, by the way, reminder, you still have to do Championship Corner as well.
I know. And I'll figure that out when we get there. Just let this happen. It's fine. Could you pour me a half shot of Malort real quick?
Okay.
I'm not going to let you go it alone.
Okay.
The reason being, despite my swinging big and hitting my bet that took me up top, Arsenal, as was aptly pointed out, did lose 2-0 to Juventus with most of their first-team squad back. Most of the first-team squad back. Mm-hmm. 2 own goals. That deserves a half shot of Malort.
Deserves a half shot of Malort. Mel over here doing the reverse style of Major League, where it was the pieces of clothing being removed. Mel is taking stickers and sticking them all over herself.
Normally during the show, I check off what segments we've done, and since they're labels, I just had to put them somewhere.
This is like the reverse of the Sweater Song by Weezer.
Yeah.
Ooh, we going out on that?
Who knows?
Injury time? I like it.
I missed with Croatia, and I ended up being down $258.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
20% of the time, it works 100% of the time. But it's back to the real deal, Scram, where I am currently in the Prem down $668. Again.
Big
Oh my God.
Sam's Lock of the Week.
Because 15.384615% of the time, it also works 100% of the time. That's right. We're doing it twice this week, people. My sound bite twice. I'm going to take a 3-game parlay on
Ooh.
Boxing Day.
You don't normally do that kind of stuff.
Palace to beat Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
That's at home for Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle to beat Leicester at Leicester. And Brighton to beat Southampton at Southampton, plus $847.
You'll be pissed about mine.
Uh-huh. Okay. Very good. What about our boy? I know he can't join us tonight because he was up drinking late and being really pissed off on Sunday Night Football with the Red Commander Skins team.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Hello, guys. We're back to gambling on the Premier League. And next Monday, we've got 7 games on the docket. I'll look up what I'm down to. I believe it's minus 500. So this Monday, I'll take a 3-game parlay for $100. First, I'll take Tottenham over Brentford, Everton over Wolves, and Arsenal over West Ham. That pays off on DraftKings at $553, so plus 533. You guys have a great Christmas, and I'll talk to you next week.
Fantastic. And also, big shout out to our boy, Mr. Firehawk, for winning the pool.
The pool, yep. We had, who finished second?
Business doing what business does.
Right.
Oh
business fine.
That's why I shut it out of my brain.
Found his way into the money.
That's why I shut. There was a point, right, where Heath, one of my neighbors, finished in 3rd place in the pool, right?
Yep.
There was a point in which during the day he was on top of the pool. But depending on the result, right? Firehawk was in 3rd, Heath was in 1st.
Yep.
Then the lead changed. It went back to Firehawk up top, Heath in 3rd.
And then
Business had accumulated enough points to 5 times his money, and that's it.
Yep. That's where he was.
I'm right in the middle. You can't displace me, and I also can't win.
Right.
5 times my money. There's nothing more business than that.
It's
It's the most businessest thing a business has ever biz.
He doesn't follow the players. He only follows the money. He's the business.
We have a different friend named Biz, though. You can't finish with Biz.
To me, she's still always EB.
The business.
Fair. Okay, that's fine.
Is that it?
Yeah,
No.
well, we got
We're
Mr.
done?
Graham's got to do a bet.
I have a bet. So I don't remember what I got to check what I'm down. I think it's minus. What week are we in?
You're down a lot. You're down
it's
like
whatever week
13,
we're in.
1,400.
Minus 1.
Yeah.
I think I'm down 1,400.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting it all back right now.
Right now.
I got a
okay.
4-game parlay.
Oh, he's swinging big, kids.
I'm swinging big. I got plus 2,587 U.S. American dollars for a $100 bet, and I am going on to my 4-game parlay: Arsenal to beat West Ham, Everton to beat Wolves, Palace to beat Fulham, and this is where me and Pat differ: Brentford to beat Tottenham.
Ooh, wishful thinking.
I like that. I am actually
They're going to be Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris-less.
I am putting, and it's at Brentford, I am putting a $5 on Brentford to win outright.
And
I'm definitely doing that.
I don't care that Brentford might be Tony-less.
They haven't ruled on it. So as
don't-
of right now,
he's eligible.
He's eligible.
So he's Tony full.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a bad bet.
I can't look at you with all those goddamn stickers on your face.
It's not a bad bet. I'm going to be
Checking stuff
really
off.
angry when my team fucks it off
This
for
is
you.
like a really organized cum shot.
This is not DU After Dark on Patreon, but if
It's
people wanted
still
to find
funny.
it, how would they find it, Graham?
Patreon.com/DU Football Show for all the sex jokes relating to football.
I mean, if you're going to call me a whore, I'll act like one.
You are both such fucking whores.
I love how we also just are kindred spirits and get each other.
You know who isn't a whore? Our chicken.
She is, though.
Well, Kitty had a bad World Cup because she didn't listen to Lady, and she finished at 5-9. But you know, she's 7-7 in the Prem this season and ready to get back to betting the games she loves.
Yes, she is.
So this week, I gave Kitty Chelsea hosting Bournemouth, and Kitty quickly pulled up her Apple TV account.
Because, of course, she has an Apple
That
TV account.
bitch has got Apple TV. I don't even have it in the house. I have to borrow my sister's.
She's got a big screen up in the fucking coop.
Apple TV account to show me the final dance sequence in Spirited. Have you seen the movie yet? Will
No.
Ferrell and
Ryan Reynolds.
Rob McElhaney's
Yeah,
friend.
exactly. Rob McElhaney's friend.
I have not.
And wouldn't
Shania
you-
Twain now sings, "Oh, so you think you're Ryan Reynolds?"
That don't impress me much.
Man.
And wouldn't you know it,
Reynolds.
right there in the credits is Kitty dancing with Will Ferrell.
I knew I saw her. I was positive. You doubted me.
No,
and I
it
told
was
you it was
her.
Kitty.
I wasn't
jumping in the
sure.
water.
There she was. And so it's already been documented that Will is a Chelsea supporter, so clearly she's picking the Blues to win.
There we go. All right. Chelsea over Bournemouth.
Fair enough.
And I got nothing cool to say. Oh, I got to pull my stickers off because I did this segment. Done. And you know what else is done? Mm-hmm. Reminding you guys to gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh no!
But answer me this, Mr. Graham. Can Messi do it on a cold, rainy Wednesday in Stoke?
Let's figure it out when he signs for Villa.
It had to be said.
Yeah.
It had to be said.
There's always going to be those cuts. All right. So in the championship this week, and we're just doing Friday on, you got Birmingham over Reading 3-2. You go through. Stoke did it on a cold night in Stoke. 2-1 over Bristol. Actually, it was in Bristol, but that's fine. Over Bristol City. Burnley 3-1 over Borough. Cardiff and Blackpool to a 1-1 draw, which I sure was an exhilarating match. Coventry and Swansea a 3-3 draw. Also very exciting. The preview. What a better build-up to the World Cup final than a 3-3 draw at Coventry. Watford 2-0 over Huddersfield away. Hull 1-1 with Sunderland. QPR 1-0 over Preston. West Brom 3-0 over Rotherham. Sorry. Boing boing.
Amazing what happens when you get rid of the Bruce.
Yeah. No more sausage rolls in the canteen.
Fucking team starts winning.
You can run. No more diarrhea. It's great. Blackburn 2-0 over Norwich, which is big at the top. On Sunday, Luton and Millwall got postponed. Not sure why. Not going to look into it either. Do your own research. Mm-hmm. Think for yourselves. Sheffield United 2-1 over Wigan on Monday. That is going to bring us your championship table. Burnley is on top, 47 points on 23 games, 3 more than Sheffield United on the same number of games. Blackburn is down 5 points behind on the same number of games in third place at 39. Watford, also 23 games played on 37 points. Norwich, 35 points. QPR, 34 points in sixth. Preston North End in seventh on 34 points. Interestingly, both of those teams, even goal differential.
No
0.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. But QPR, sorry, misread. QPR has scored 27. Preston North End has only scored 22.
Ooh, okay.
So they're going to the second tiebreaker there to figure out where they are on the table. Birmingham in eighth on 32 points are still in the hunt for a playoff place, obviously. And, I mean, everybody's still in the hunt for a playoff place because there's still 9,652 games left in the championship.
As always, well documented.
Right. Swansea is in 10th on 32, as is Reading in 11th on 32 points. You go down to the bottom, and Huddersfield, outside chance, but they still have a chance to make the playoffs with 19 points in their bag. Wigan are on 24. Blackpool are on 24 in 22nd place and going up the table. So Wigan in 23rd there if you couldn't keep up. Hull City is in 21st on 26, as Cardiff in 20th is the same number of points, and Rotherham is in 19th on the same number of points. The only difference obviously being goal differential. So there is all to play for. Separating Hull City in 21st place, the first spot above the relegation zone. There is only 3 points separating them and 16th place West Brom. Only 4 points separating them and 13th place Middlesbrough. 5 points to 12th place Sunderland. So all could change in 2 games. And you look at some of these bottom half teams.
Also remember, West Brom was dead last right before they fired Bruce and have shot up the table.
So now you look down at some of these teams. Huddersfield and dead last have only 22 games played instead of 23. You go up, and Coventry in 14th on 30 points only have 21 games played. Luton Town 22, West Brom 22. So there's games in hand now starting to pile up for some of these sides, and you can see either a gap created or a tightening happening.
Excellent. All right, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, Parting words. Let's put a bow on fuck Qatar.
Let's put a bow on
Fuck
fuck
Qatar.
Qatar.
Fuck Qatar.
Qatar.
Fuck them all. Just
I
fuck 'em.
do have a bow to put on this, and I just want to say a few stats from this World Cup. The final, 54% possession to Argentina, 46% to France. Shots, 20 shots for Argentina in that game, 10 for France. On target, 10 for Argentina, 5 for France. So 30 shots, and half of them were on target between the two sides. You had no less than 45 fouls in that game.
Wow.
8 yellow cards, no reds, obviously. Only 8 offsides.
Oh, real quick, Sam, just to interject. Phenomenal officiating at that match.
I think so as well. Even despite
Fucking
3 penalties being given.
Handled the moment, didn't get too wrapped up in it, controlled emotions. That ref, whomever he was, and his team was fucking exceptional.
A full slate, almost full. 13 out of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 13 out of a possible 14 substitutions were made as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Because Adrian Rabiot, 20 minutes after it happened, was brought off for a suspected concussion.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to suspect something?
Right.
Anyway, most of both benches played a part in addition to all of those stats I was given. There was 11 corner kicks and a total of 9 saves. Okay? It was literally one of the greatest football matches I have ever watched in my life. This tournament, in a footballing sense, was one of the greatest tournaments that I've ever seen. Was one of the greatest overall displays of month-long football I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was drama. Remember, all the way back at a group stage, only 3 teams had games that didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every single
other match had implications, and even a couple of the 3
games. It started with Group A with Ecuador and Senegal playing each other, and then it was USA and Iran, and then after that it became all 4 teams were still in it from C the rest of the way. Like that final round of the group stages that week was fucking crazy.
What was it? Germany and Spain's group. Mm-hmm. That day, Germany were in, out, second, first, last, and then ended up going home in third.
Costa Rica at one point, who had lost a match 6-1 to fucking Spain.
7-1, wasn't it?
7-1. Were in the knockout stages at one point. Like, that's... Ah!
For all of the glorious, beautiful, wonderful, footballing, competitive, amazing... there is no better advert for the beautiful game than this tournament was. It was still hosted by a misogynistic, homophobic, archaic culture who sports watches and used FIFA and used the world's game to up their standing in global society, and they can go fuck themselves. And my name is Sam Graham. Fucking come find me. Fuck Cutter.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you fucked up your mic there, killer.
Mike Fall.
Mike heard Mike drop.
No, Mike Fall.
Mike fall.
I didn't drop it, it fell.
You know, in solidarity, I'm doing the, let me take my shirt off and do the titty copper.
Woo! Have at it.
It's
Fucking twats.
and that is exactly how that country planned it. The 8 stadiums that were built, 2 of them will stand in 3 years. There's one that they even said when the last game was played, it was getting torn down right after the World Cup.
It's the one that can be moved, and they hope to use it at every World Cup after as part of the legacy of Qatar, because it was built out of 923 shipping containers. It was being torn down before the World Cup was over.
And hundreds of dead bodies.
Thousands of dead bodies.
bodies.
The other thing is they built a stadium, and outside the stadium was a sign that said the future home of the city of whatever the fuck they called the city.
Yeah.
So they're building the city around the stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous. In the middle of fucking nowhere. Get out.
Not sure if anybody caught this one. The third place match between Morocco and Croatia, officiated by the Qatari team, by the Qatari officials. You don't think that was a handshake and a nudge? We're going to make sure you get one, because that officiating group hadn't officiated a match since the group stages. Typically, referees are assessed throughout the tournament, and they
get cut as it goes on. Yeah.
The good officials continue to ref in the knockout stages. That was somebody's uncle made sure somebody's cousin got a fucking payday and got to ref that match. I myself from now on will only refer to it as the 2022 World Cup. I've never actively rooted for any country to not make the World Cup. I am actively rooting for fuck Qatar to never make it to another World Cup ever again. I hope this was it. I hope that this was their moment, this was their legacy, and they can fucking all jerk each other off quietly, because it's against religion there to do so, jerk each other off.
Well, it's against the law.
But let them just live in that fucking moment, and let those pieces of shit be who they fucking are. I'm going to continue to remember that this was possibly the best World Cup I've ever seen. It really, truly was. It was fucking amazing. And that final is undoubtedly the greatest soccer match I've ever watched.
Don't ever take the pressure off countries that would kill or arrest your gay friends and family, your poor blue-collar friends and family, your
wives, your
boyfriends, your husbands, your anyone. Don't ever forget. Don't ever stay quiet about. Don't ever do any of that.
Your Catholic friends, your Jewish friends, your atheist friends, if they are not Muslim Arab men, you are not a citizen or a class of human beings in their eyes.
The men were generally fine unless they had a rainbow on. Then they just got a stern talking to.
Right.
The women, though, got their rainbows taken from them. Also, one final RIP to Grant Wall as we close that out, because he deserves one.
The next World Cup's going to be very empty with him not here.
Yeah,
to
hands
report
down.
on it
on his home turf as well.
Yeah,
it
would have been
very sad,
very beautiful for him to have reported that in his home turf, because he didn't get to do it the last time because he was a little young back then.
Yep. However, and it's sad that he wasn't here to see it, I believe his internship that Bob Bradley helped him get was in Argentina.
Oh, very cool.
I think. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was either Argentina or Brazil. It was definitely South America, but I think it was Argentina.
Well, SNL cast member Mikey Day is a very happy man because his wife is Argentinian, and every single close of SNL this whole season, once the World Cup started, Mikey Day, the goofiest ass, little skinny ass white boy, Argentina jersey on.
Yep.
After at the end of every single show.
And public service announcement: see your cardiologist, people.
For sure.
Exactly. My fat ass is still alive because I saw my cardiologist. Sam's still alive because he got his fucking blood pressure checked. Boys, if you're in your 40s and you think you're fucking invincible,
All right. If you're only 36, which I am,
you're not.
Still pay attention.
You're not. Go to the doctor. So, anyways.
But as Mel said
women,
last week,
go ahead and drop dead.
Fuck Qatar. It's the year of Qatar.
No, I mean, you don't have access to good health care, so why go? The Supreme Court said so.
Besides, we're going to find a younger, faster model anyways. We always upgrade to a younger one.
So,
That's why
hey,
I'm bringing a date to your birthday party.
did you find the details of that Argentinian one with the big titties yet?
I'm just gonna put my shirt back on now, so y'all don't appreciate
Sam's
me.
working on wife number 3.
Everything's going plastic anyway. It's fine. The on a serious note, diseases that you never think of, like bronchitis, as Mel pointed out last week, do increase your risk of a heart attack, especially if you're of a certain age, especially if you have a respiratory disease or smoke. Make sure, and vaping is smoking. Don't get me, I still do both. You watch me every week. But make sure that you're taking care of yourselves. Get yourself checked out. Don't be a dickhead about it. We all, can drop trowel for any other reason except the doctor. Don't know why. Drop your trousers for the doctor. Just go. It's fine. Great World Cup. Great football. Amazing. It was the best tournament I've ever seen in my life. And one last time, just for those in the back. Everybody, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Fuck Cutter!
Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to actually preview the Boxing Day matches. We are back to the fucking Prem. Mr. Graham, we're going to
Thank God, we only have one Saudi Arabian team to worry about.
Yeah,
Everybody else is a good person.
We've got, we're going to talk about the beers and the ciders we've been drinking, and of course, check in on all of our adopted clubs, who they're playing or who they're about to play in the case of Batiste. And should one want to find that, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
Patreon.com/DU Football Show. Sign up to our one big, beautiful, huge, non-rapey $5 tier.
Non-NFT. Non-watermarked NFT.
We guarantee not a single dollar will go towards any insurrection ever.
If you so fancy, you will get both of our extra shows, which are Soundcheck, our actual Soundcheck, and Injury Time, which is what we're about to do. That is our preview show where we go through the upcoming week, our beers, side beers that we have been drinking, and review those, as well as our side teams, our side hoes, side bitches, golden showers of a club in Accrington Stanley in League One. We have Real Batiste because they were hungover once on a preseason tour, because that's what we do. We're loyal people. That's how we roll.
Mm-hmm. And of course the Ibs, because
heroin. We feel a special affinity to them in the Baltimore area.
Yeah, and just we love the movie Train Spotting, and they all supported them.
Correct.
All right, everybody. Till next week.
Good night.
Good show, kids.
Great.